Okay guys, I am back and we were here with another Kill Team unboxing and review video. Like I've said in a bunch of previous videos, I didn't think you guys would be so voracious for these videos, this type of content, but you seem to really enjoy finding out what comes in the box set and my personal experience with the building of it before you decide to dive in and purchase it for yourself. So as long as you guys keep watching it, the views in these videos stay up, I will continue doing it for you guys. So this is obviously the new Kill Team Tomb World set. I have spent the last 2 or 3 days building all of the miniatures inside of it, getting it all laid out and having a little first look at the contents you get inside the box. And that's what I'm going to talk to in today's video. So hopefully you guys are ready to hear all about that. Before I get into it though, I just want to say the usual things, which is if you're enjoying the video, make sure you give it a like, comment down below with any questions you have about this box set. And please do make sure you're subscribed. They cost you nothing, but they make a huge difference to me. If you want to help support the channel even further, Patreon, channel membership, they're all linked down below. You get access to a private Discord server and you get an extra video every single week just for you guys. And obviously if you're going to be purchasing this box set for yourself or any other awesome kind of hobby products in the next while and you want to save yourself some money and give the channel a little bit of a kickback, there's links to Underworld Gaming for Ireland, Element Games for the United Kingdom, and My Hobby Place for the rest of Europe apart from those 2 places. So like I said, you purchase from any of those places, you're going to save yourself a ton of cash and you're going to get us a little bit as well. So that's all the spiel out of the way. Let's dive in and have a look at this box set. Okay, so this is the set itself. We'll of course talk about the box first, which is what the miniatures come in. And I gotta say, I am a sucker for boxes. I don't like to throw out any of the big designer boxes like this. There's a very specific reason for it, and it's these Billy bookcases here. The actual gap fits the boxes in nicely, and then you can display the contents of the box on the shelf. And I have plans in the future to have a lot more of those kind of cabinets and to put all these boxes in the shelves with the models in front of them and stuff like that. So I literally love the box like that. To me, just looks so cool and so interesting that it would be a shame for me to throw it out. Maybe that's a really stupid way to think, and maybe I'm kidding myself with that, and maybe I'm just storing all these giant boxes for no reason. Who knows? But for now, I'm happy enough to do it. Like the artwork they put into them, I think it's definitely worth your time to have a look at them. And obviously the back shows the absolutely insane content that you're going to get inside of this set. Now, going on to the miniatures, of course, you get the first set of the new kind of tomb complex walls. If this is anything like the Gallowdark set, this is the current season, which is a tomb world. So perhaps there will be 4 of these box sets. Each one will include additional walls, but then different sets of the kind of awesome extra bits in each one. So by the end of the season, you will be able to put these 4 sets together and have an entire gaming table based around fighting inside of a Necron tomb world. I did it with the Gallowdark set. I got all 4 of them together and I played a couple games of 40k in it. And now I'm super excited by the concept of being able to play Zone Mortalis for the Horus Heresy using that set, because I've got enough scenery, enough walls to do an entire 6x4 complex, and it's very cool. So to be able to do it again with a Necron tomb world, I'm very excited by. So I do hope that is the route they're going for with this. Obviously, with the Necrons, you do indeed get the 2 different and distinct gangs. Obviously, this is the Canoptek Circle kill team, which is very interesting. Obviously, a lot of them are these like little drone guys like this. Even these guys themselves can be quite different depending on the kind of mechadendrites and extra bits you give them. And I'm sure as specialists, they will all have their own set of kind of custom rules, which will do various different things in the game. You get these guys, which I really like. These like little kind of sentry guys walking around, a little turret on their head. They clomp around. I really like the shape of these guys, the design, the aesthetic, the silhouette. These are probably my favorite Necron style thing in the box set. Obviously, apart from the main man himself, which is quite irritating to construct. So many spindly parts. Look at him. Look how hollow he is and all the different arms and stuff. He took a little bit of time. And like his connection point on the base is so minuscule as well that in the end they ended up using super glue to like lock in different legs and make sure he doesn't slide off or anything like that. So a little bit more forethought into putting these guys on the base. It's the same with these guys. Putting these guys on the base is actually quite irritating because they're like the 4 limbs just barely cover the edges. So once again, I use super glue to secure that in place so they wouldn't go anywhere. So you do get 2 of the Scarabee style dudes, as we saw. These guys are now stuck together. So 2 of these guys, which are very cool. The big guy, and then you get 5 of the kind of smaller drone-esque guys as well. And obviously set into this scene of a tomb world is just pretty awesome. Like, I love it. And of course the Necron portal behind it where you can teleport around from, which is really cool. We'll get to that in a minute. They also have the addition of a full box of extra Necron warriors. I built them with the traditional Gauss flayers because that's just the way I like them. That, of course, set does come with 3 Scarab Swarms as well, so you're going to get that as well. So this is a really cool thing, and it's not part of the Necron warband per se. They're actually sentries like this, so as part of the scenery, you will see, I'm sure it'll focus any point now. There's sleeping Necrons, kind of like the Borg, in their alcoves, kind of being repaired, or maybe just still dormant after thousands of years. And the kind of more rustle and bustle that the kill team, the Deathwatch kill team cause in the tomb complex means it's more likely that more of these Necrons will start to wake up, step off their polygons, and cause more problems. Even like using the end caps for walls to have additional Necron warriors, I think is really cool. So you get 2 of the pieces, which are strips of Necrons. So that's, 10 Necrons there. And then you get 2 end pieces, which Necrons was. You got 12 Necron guys that can, I think, feasibly step off and be a serious problem, which is very cool. The walls and doors are actually quite clever, because even if you look at like wall sections like this, you come through and you blow through the walls. So there's like breakable sections of walls everywhere, which I think is another great touch. You throw a melt bomb on a wall, you can break into a room from a different vantage point and stuff. I love that as a little touch for games like Kill Team. Big fan of that. And I'm also quite a big fan of these doors. So this one has an energy field on it. But the way these doors are designed is there's like little kind of like push-in kind of pegs on the bottom and on the top, which means that the doors actually fit in, and they fit in snugly. So they'll stay up in a game. But then obviously if you need to open the door, you just push them out and get rid of them, and now the door is kind of open. And that works for all of the doors that exist. Like as I move this piece of scenery around, like the door is not falling out or anything, but you give it a little push and it pops out, and then you have an open doorway. So to me, that's a really nice touch, something that they've thought about, and I think that's just really cool as a kind of a concept. We will move on to the rest of the Necron parts first, which is the scenery parts. You do get a bunch of extra like little columns and broken bits, which I'm sure will be objectives or things to capture in the game. But obviously I think the standout piece, well, 2 standout pieces. Obviously the secret sleeping Necron Lord in his huge big sarcophagus. Like what a piece to paint by itself and to have. It even goes a step further, and there's actually a lid so you can have him like closed off entirely, sleeping away the centuries or the millennia until you have him kind of open up and turn on. And then that's a bad day when a Necron Lord wakes up. So he's going to pretty much wake up the rest of the tomb then, and you're going to be in a fighting retreat to get out of there. So that's obviously a primary objective, to try and destroy that before he wakes up and deal with it. And then my personal favorite bit is the teleport pads. You do get 2 of them. So point A to point B. So I'm guessing in particular games, you can have guys jump across the map, which is not really a mechanic we've ever had in Kill Team before. But I think that's going to be super interesting and super unique for getting guys into kind of odd positions on the battlefield. Early or late game, when you think you don't have enough turns to get back and do anything else, maybe you'll, have a crazy gambler and have a guy teleport across the board and smack a guy with a hammer or something like that. So all the Necron bits and walls are really cool. I'm obviously a big Necron fan, so obviously I really like this. I'm curious to know how many other people out there are excited by like Xenos walls, because obviously the last edition with the Gallowdark, the walls were so like casual, is that the right word? No, nondescript, which you could, like, any player could have a set of those walls and use them for their games pretty much. Whereas with the Necron walls, do people think it's only for Necron players? If you're not a Necron player, are you reluctant to pick up this set? Or are you just as excited as I am? That's something that I would like to know. So if you do have time, put down in the comments below and let me know how you feel on that. I would be very curious. Now, as a Kill Team, a Deathwatch player myself, I was very excited by the fact that we were finally getting some awesome new Primaris Deathwatch Marines. And what a set of Marines they've given you. They've basically given you 2 squads of 5, same sprue twice, and then you basically make whichever guys you want. I've tried to make guys like feel kind of unique and very much like the chapters of Space Marines that they come from. So this is the Space Wolf guy. I've got a big Thunderhammer, very aggressive pose moving forward, which I think kind of suits the Space Wolf aesthetic. When we go to things like the Dark Angel, I've gone for obviously the shield, and he's got a mace in his hand, which I think obviously suits him very well as well. Definitely giving me that noble knight vibe. And then he's got the Dark Angel head, and then so on and so forth. This is the Imperial Fist is the Sergeant, of course. Why would anyone else follow anyone other than an Imperial Fist into combat? So he's got his beautiful power sword and his plasma pistol, and then so on and so forth. Just unique, different characters. I've made the sneaky guy, who obviously is He's got all his like sensor baffling equipment and stuff like that, and his like silence bolter and his extra combat blades. And I've made him a raptor, which I think just suits that down to the ground, which is what those guys are all about. Stealth and reconnaissance and stuff. So you can definitely play around with the themes, and like it really sets them apart from the other Deathwatch guys. There's so many other parts on the sprues, so many other shoulder pads. The fact that they give you a bunch of shoulder pads for aggressor terminators as well, which is really cool. Aggressor marines, aggressor armor. Why am I struggling to say that? But obviously you get 2 of them in the set, but there's like 8 or 9 shoulder pads for them in the set. So if you wanted to make some more guys for your kill teams, squads of aggressors to throw into that army, then you've got the shoulder pads to do it, which I think is a really nice touch. Obviously some smaller ones for the more reconnaissance style guys, whether they be scouts or whether they be the incursors and stuff, you've got them as well. So it's definitely a very well thought out set. Lots of weapon options, lots of different close combat weapons, lots of different bolter options. So you could buy this set kind of over and over and over again. I don't mean the whole box set, I just mean the kill team guys. If you want to do an army in the future and have a bunch of squads that are very, very distinct and very, very different. So yeah, I'm very excited by this. So that's the miniatures and the table itself out of the way. Like I said, I think it's a really good one. It's a real nice standout one. Some of the architecture in the walls is something that I'm super excited to try and paint, because I love the idea of the old marble stuff that originally was like plastered over all the Xenos technology. And then you've got the Necron walls underneath kind of shining through. So definitely painting these walls in like, I don't know, you could do it like an Egyptian like stone and then have the gleaming kind of alien technology underneath, which is very just like Stargate or something. I love it. So I'm definitely going to be playing into that quite a lot. You do get the traditional other bits and pieces. You get an awesome kind of cardboard sheet with all your different tokens, including the Xenos phase thingamajigger here for the energy shields and stuff, which I think is very cool. I like the splits for the different size bases, and then obviously all of your normal kind of effect tokens and stuff, which are unique to this particular warband, and obviously very unique to the Necron warband itself. So it's always good to get those. You of course get your traditional 3 sets of cards. You get your card for your Necrons, your card for your Deathwatch kill team, and your cards for your kill zone for different missions and secondary objectives and effects and stuff though. So it's always nice to get cards. Cards make every game, I think, easier. It makes it a bit more fluid. Happy to have those. And then of course you get the awesome kill team. We were talking about this book on my stream last night, not specifically this book, but the kill team dossier books, because if you think about how much time and effort has gone into these books for all the different specific missions and all the different characters, and then all like the original lore on why these guys are here, like what the story is, the different operatives, the different equipment. Like I think I've always said it before, like you've no idea how much time and effort has gone into the production of every single one of these style books, and it's part of the cost. So people talk about like, oh, this box set is so expensive for what you get in it, but they don't take the cost of this into account at all, even though it costs a lot to make and produce. So I definitely think when you buy a box set like this, you should take the time out to get your money's worth and read this book. All of it, from back to cover, the lore and included. And I think that will make a huge difference to your opinions on some of these box sets. Having talked about that, obviously we have had problems in the past with these box sets selling out immediately. So obviously this video goes live as this set is going live on the Games Workshop website for you to purchase, and it might sell out very, very quickly, or it might take a couple of weeks to sell out. But if it does sell out immediately, that doesn't mean that it's gone, because you still have access to the copies that are going to actual Warhammer stores and going to independent stockists. They are separate allocation of stock to the ones that are available on the website. So you are not out of luck. It just means on the day of release, you will have to travel into an independent stockist or into an actual Warhammer store to be able to pick up your physical copy then and get your hands on it. So please do bear that in mind. I know it can be super frustrating when things sell out super fast. I get super frustrated as well. So hopefully that will give you guys something to think about and hopefully alleviate some of your fears. So this is my very brief description of what the new Kill Team Tomb world is. Obviously, with all kill zones and kill teams, I do 3 videos after this one, of course. So I will do a video on each gang and a video on how to paint the scenery. So if you follow along with that series, you'll be able to pick up this box set and be able to paint it along and get the whole set painted up. So I'll probably start with one of the new Deathwatch Marines, which will be early next week. And then we'll go on to the scenery and then the Necrons. So if you're excited by that, please do make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on those uploads and all the rest of that content. So thank you guys so much for sticking around at the end of this video. Hopefully you found it informative and interesting, and I will see you guys in the next video.